Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, boxing legend George Foreman dead at 76. Former heavyweight champion George Foreman, who fought and lost against Muhammad Ali in boxing's iconic 1974 Rumble in the Jungle before reclaiming the title 2 decades later, died Friday aged 76. His family announced in a statement, "With profound sorrow, we announce the passing of our beloved George Edward Foreman Sr., who peacefully departed on March 21, 2025, surrounded by loved ones," Foreman's family said in a statement posted on the boxer's official Instagram page. A humanitarian, an Olympian, and a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, he was deeply respected, a force for good, a man of discipline, conviction, and a protector of his legacy, fighting tirelessly to preserve his good name for his family, the statement added. "We are grateful for the outpouring of love and prayers, and kindly ask for privacy as we honor the extraordinary life of a man we were blessed to call our own." Security guard charged in alleged $5.7 million bank fraud scheme in Portland. A Portland security guard has been charged in connection with a multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme in which a woman's bank account was allegedly accessed while she was overseas. 26-year-old Dwight White of Orange Bay has been charged with simple larceny, conspiracy to defraud, and unauthorized access to computer data following an investigation by the Port Antonio police. It's alleged that a total of $5,739,000 was fraudulently transferred, a police statement said on Friday. According to the police, on Tuesday, August 20, 2024, an individual impersonating the woman contacted her financial institution and requested that the funds be transferred to the accounts of other members of the institution. The scam was later uncovered, leading to an investigation that implicated 5 people. 3 have already been charged. White was arrested on Monday. Authorities continue to warn financial institutions and the customers to remain vigilant against the fraud schemes. Health body warns against the pranks after man's hands glued to steering wheel. The Southern Regional Health Authority is urging the public to be mindful of pranks after a man had to seek medical attention recently when his hands were glued to the steering wheel of his car as part of a joke. The prank, which involved a couple, required several hospital staff members to attend to the situation, the authority said in a statement on Friday. The health system is already facing immense pressure, and the pranks like these, which results in medical emergencies, place additional burden on the staff members and the health sector resources. These pranks can also put others in danger, resulting in serious incidents and accidents, it added. The agency is also appealing to the public to refrain from recording and sharing videos of healthcare workers and the patients in public health facilities without a consent, describing the act as unlawful. It said a video was done as part of the prank and later uploaded to social media. While pranks can be enjoyable and harmless, they should not be conducted in a way that violates the laws and regulations, causes distress, or endangers the safety of others, the SRHA added. The SRHA, a statutory body of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, oversees public health care facilities in St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and Clarendon. Gardener sentenced to 7 years for brutal stabbing of elderly employer and tenant. A gardener who viciously stabbed his elderly employer and her tenant multiple times in a fit of rage was sentenced to 7 years and 1 month in prison on Wednesday, just a day before his 60th birthday. Roy Simpson, a longtime employee of the now 89-year-old retired nurse, attacked her and her tenant at their Norbrook home in St. Andrew on April 6, 2020. The elderly woman claimed Simpson assaulted her after she resisted his attempt to pull down her trousers, but he denied this, instead blaming the attack on an argument over grooming her dog. On Wednesday, Justice Leighton Pusey handed down the sentence in the Home Circuit Court, ordering Simpson to serve 7 years and 1 month for 2 counts of wounding with intent and 2 years for indecent assault. The sentences will run concurrently. According to the prosecution, Simpson arrived for work that morning and was allowed inside. However, he reportedly disregarded his employer's instructions not to follow her into the house. Once inside, he reportedly grabbed her from behind and attempted to pull down her trousers. When she resisted, according to the prosecution, Simpson pulled a knife and stabbed her multiple times in the chest, right breast, and the left arm. As she screamed for help, her female tenant rushed to her aid, only to be attacked as well. The tenant tried to flee but fell, and the Simpson pounced, stabbing her in the chest, breast, and the shoulder. Despite her injuries, the tenant managed to escape, locked herself in her room, and called the police. Simpson fled the scene but was later found at the Grand Spend police station, where he was identified by the victims and arrested. During sentencing, Simpson's attorney, Delphine Golden Jenkins, argued that the attack was not premeditated. She claimed her client acted out of anger after his employer ordered him to clip her dog's nails, a task outside his usual duties. Simpson, she said, was hesitant because the dog disliked him. Despite his reluctance, his employer allegedly thrust the dog and the nail clipper at him. The dog bit and scratched Simpson, causing him to drop it, which reportedly enraged his employer, leading to a heated exchange. "My lord," he said, the complainant became very enraged at him for dropping the dog and hurled hurtful and degrading insults, Jenkins told the court. In the heat of the moment, he lost the control and reacted, using the dog nail clipper in his hand, not a knife from his waist. Regarding the indecent assault claim, the attorney said Simpson admitted to grabbing the elderly woman's pants but insisted it was unintentional. He also claimed the second victim was injured while trying to restrain him. While acknowledging Simpson's long history of employment with the victim, the judge emphasized that he had the option to leave rather than resort to violence. However, Justice Pusey accepted the defense's argument that the attack was not premeditated and resulted from a momentary loss of memory. In calculating the sentence, the judge considered the victim's impact statements, Simpson's age, his previously clean record, the severity of the injuries, and the nearly 3 years he had already spent in custody. Despite his lawyer's plea for a non-custodial sentence, Simpson will now serve his time behind the bars, marking a grim milestone just before his 60th birthday. 25-year-old man pleads guilty to stealing $26,000 from bus in Spanish Town. A 25-year-old St. Catherine man who entered a parked bus and stole $26,000 earlier this month has pleaded guilty to larceny and has been remanded for sentencing. Noah Hutchinson of Windsor Road, Spanish Town, appeared before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday, where he admitted to the offense. He had also been charged with demanding money by menace or extortion, but the prosecution made no order on that account. Presiding Judge Venice Blackstock Murray ordered a fingerprint record and a social inquiry report to assist in determining Hutchinson's sentence. He has been remanded until May 5, when he is set to reappear in court. The allegations are that on March 6, the complainant was seated in his parked bus along Burke Road, Spanish Town, when Hutchinson entered and demanded money. Hutchinson took the $26,000 from the dashboard. He reportedly wrapped the cash in an elastic band and walked away. A police report was made, leading to Hutchinson's arrest and the charge. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.